Hello knitters, this is Jessica, the Lefty Knitter with KnitChats. I will show you how to join in the round, and we'll discuss how to prevent laddering as well. We are most certainly going to need stitch markers for our beginning of round. I'll probably use black so that it stands out, or blue because I'm gray yarn. These are just Knitter's Pride 6-inch double point, probably, I don't know, the wood needles, I'm not really sure. Rosewood maybe is what they market it as. I'm not sure. Okay, so I have actually cast on my 64 stitches. Now, you can cast on 16 and have it on one needle and then cast on 16 more and 16 more and just keep adding another needle. When I do that, it usually causes some funny gap, like it's the start to a ladder that probably isn't going to stop. Because of that, I cast on all of my stitches on one needle, and I just take the time to transfer my stitches to the other 3 needles. For me, it prevents that laddering. I've had to rip out a lot of socks, and maybe I'm just a really picky person too, but I figure if I'm spending all of this time and energy into knitting these socks, I should probably make sure I get it right. Otherwise it'll just drive me bonkers. So they're all transferred over. This is the first stitch we cast on. I'm just going to slip my needle tip and the last stitch we cast on. So to join in the round, I'm actually going to cast on a 65th stitch. I did it right-handed. The last stitch that the first stitch that we cast on, slip to your right needle. The last stitch that I just cast on just now, slip it over that stitch and off the needle. And then we're gonna cinch it nice and tight. Work it back and forth until it's nice and snug. I hold these stitches pretty close. Put your stitch marker, whoops, other needle, that's the way I knit. Okay. Put your beginning of round stitch marker and knit your first stitch. Cinch that nice and tight again and let it go. Second stitch. Oh, you know what? I didn't even make sure that my stitches weren't twisted. Ha! What luck. You have to make sure they're all lined up, that there aren't any twists. That was completely accidental and it worked out. And it's fine. If I were to twist it, I can tink back. I've only made a stitch, so knit your second stitch and your third. And then this is the point when I bring in, I just like knowing that this is secure. my stitch marker is not going to fall off. I'm not going to lose stitches. It's nice and firm. I'm not going to loosen up my beginning of round at all. I don't like that to become loose. And now you can introduce your 5th needle and begin knitting around. Now, preventing laddering. When you're using double points, if I keep knitting around and around and around, and I keep all the same stitches on all the same needles, I will develop a ladder every time. Some people are really good at it. I don't know. They just have a magical tension that they have with double points. I do not have that. So what I do to prevent laddering, which you do not need to do during your first round, but I'm going to show you, is I will knit 3 or 4 more stitches than I actually need to, feel I need to. Okay. Before switching to the next, bringing out your extra double point. And then I just slip these stitches off that needle I just knit to. And onto my 5th needle. And then I proceed to knit. At first it takes a little extra time, but eventually you're going to get so used to slipping those stitches that it's so easy and it's fast. You hardly even think about it. And then you just knit on with confidence. It's wonderful. Okay, so we have that. Now it's time to show all the lefties.